You quoted an LTL shipment at $500, and the carrier invoices you for $800. What went wrong? One of the most common reasons is incorrect freight classification. Let's understand it. 1. What is a freight class? If you work in logistics, transportation, warehousing, or procurement, you've probably heard terms like LTL, NMFC, freight class, density, and reclassification. But what exactly does freight class mean? In the United States, freight class is used for less than truckload, or LTL, shipments. The National Motor Freight Classification, or NMFC, assigns freight classes ranging from 50 to 500. In simple terms, freight class is a way of describing how difficult a commodity is to transport. According to the National Motor Freight Traffic Association, classification considers 4 major transportation characteristics: density, handling, stowability, and liability. Generally, freight that is dense, easy to handle, easy to stow, and relatively low risk tends to have a lower class. Freight that is less dense or presents special handling, stowability, or liability concerns can have a higher class. 2. Why does freight class matter? Now, why should a supply chain professional care about this? Because freight class can directly affect the rate applied to your shipment. Imagine you tell your carrier, I have 500 pounds of product and the freight class is 70. The carrier provides a quote based on that information. But when the shipment arrives at the terminal, the carrier measures it and discovers that the dimensions are larger than declared. The actual weight is different. The packaging wasn't included correctly, or the commodity was classified incorrectly. The carrier may then reclassify the shipment, potentially resulting in additional charges. NMFTA itself warns that incorrect classification can lead to reclassification charges, delays, and damage-related problems. So freight classification isn't just a transportation terminology issue. It's a cost control issue. 3. The most important concept, density. Let's come to the most important calculation. Density. Density tells us how much weight occupies a given volume. The basic formula is density equals weight divided by cubic feet. And this is where many freight class mistakes happen. Let's take an example. Suppose we have a palletized shipment measuring 48 inches times 40 inches times 45 inches. And the total shipment weight is 450 pounds. First, calculate the cubic volume. 48 times 40 times 45 is equal to 86,400 cubic inches. There are 1,728 cubic inches in 1 cubic foot. So, 86,400 divided by 1,728 is equal to 50 cubic feet. Now calculate density. 450 divided by 50 is equal to 9 pounds per cubic foot. So the shipment density is 9 PCF, pounds per cubic foot. This exact type of calculation is illustrated by NMFTA in its classification guidance. 48 times 40 times 45 is equal to 86,400 in cubed. 86,400 divided by 1,728 is equal to 50 feet cubed. 450 divided by 50 is equal to 9 PCF. 4. How density can affect freight class. Now here's where things become interesting. For commodities that are classified using the full density scale, the current NMFC density structure includes these ranges. These are the current full density subprovisions described by NMFTA following the major 2025 NMFC changes. So, in our example, a density of 9 PCF falls into 8 to less than 10 PCF class 100. But, and this is extremely important, you cannot simply calculate density and declare a class. Why? Because you first need to identify the correct NMFC item number and commodity description. Density not equal to automatic freight class. 5. NMFC item number comes first. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about freight classification. You can't simply look at your product, calculate density, and say, it's class 100. The proper process is more like product NMFC item classification rules, density, other characteristics, freight class. The NMFC item identifies the commodity and the applicable classification provisions. And different commodities can have different classification rules. NMFTA specifically recommends using the current NMFC data to identify the correct item number and then determining classification based on the applicable provisions. And this became even more important after the major NMFC changes that took effect on July 19, 2025. NMFTA reported that more than 2,000 NMFC items were reclassified, while many items moved toward more detailed density-based classification. So if your company still has old freight class information sitting in an ERP, TMS, spreadsheet, or shipping SOP, don't assume it's still correct. 6. Packaging can change your density. Here's another area where warehouse and logistics teams can make an expensive mistake. Packaging. Suppose your product itself occupies relatively little space, but then you add a pallet, protective packaging, a crate, additional cushioning, or other shipping materials. The final dimensions of the handling unit as tended to the carrier matter. NMFTA's guidance specifies that the greatest straight-line dimensions are used, including projections, as tended for shipment. And remember, more cubic volume plus same weight equals lower density. For example, suppose the shipment weighs 500 pounds. If it occupies 50 cubic feet, 500 divided by 50 is equal to 10 PCF. But if packaging increases the shipment to 60 cubic feet, 500 divided by 60 is equal to 8.33 PCF. The density has dropped, and depending on the applicable NMFC provision, that can affect classification. NMFTA also specifically notes that packaging can influence freight class and therefore shipping cost. 7. The 4 factors you must check. So before you classify an LTL shipment, think about these 4 questions. Number 1. Density. How much does the shipment weigh relative to the space it occupies? Number 2. Handling. Is it easy to handle with normal material handling equipment? Or does it require special handling? Number 3. Stowability. Can the freight be efficiently loaded and positioned with other freight? Does its shape create wasted space or create restrictions? Number 4. Liability. What happens if the product is damaged? Is it fragile, high value, easily damaged? Or does it create unusual liability concerns? These 4 characteristics form the foundation of the NMFC classification methodology. Density handling, stowability, liability. 8. A practical freight class calculation workflow. So let's turn this into a practical workflow that you can actually use in your logistics operation. Step 1. Identify the commodity. Don't start with the class. Start with, what exactly am I shipping? Step 2. Find the correct NMFC item. Use the current NMFC classification information and confirm the applicable commodity description. Step 3. Measure the handling unit. Capture length times width times height, and make sure the dimensions reflect the shipment as actually tendered. Step 4. Capture actual weight. Don't rely on an old master data value if the shipment configuration has changed. Step 5. Calculate cubic feet. L times W times H divided by 1728. Step 6. Calculate density. Weight divided by cubic feet. Step 7. Apply the applicable NMFC classification provision. And finally, verify the result against the current rules and your carrier's applicable tariff or rating agreement. 9. How to avoid getting charged extra. Now let's get to the practical part. How can you reduce avoidable freight reclassification charges? First, maintain accurate master data. Your ERP or TMS should have accurate weight plus length plus width plus height plus packaging configuration plus NMFC information for frequently shipped items. Second, don't estimate dimensions. NMFTA explicitly advises shippers to use accurate measurements rather than estimates. Third, train warehouse teams, because the person building the pallet can directly influence dimensions, density, classification. Fourth, audit carrier invoices. Compare quoted weight and dimensions against carrier measured weight and dimensions. Look for recurring discrepancies. Fifth, review your frequently shipped SKUs. If you haven't reviewed your NMFC data since before the 2025 changes, this is especially important. 10. Conclusion. So remember this simple chain. Commodity, NMFC item dimensions, cubic feet, density, applicable class, freight rate. And don't make the mistake of thinking freight class is just a number. It's actually a reflection of the transportation characteristics of your shipment, and getting that number wrong can create avoidable cost and billing problems. If you're working in logistics, transportation, procurement, warehousing, or supply chain, understanding freight classification is a very practical skill. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, join our membership. You will get to break down supply chain problems and their database solutions with real-world frameworks every week. Till then, keep optimizing. Thanks for watching.